What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Hopefully it is good. We are finally back with another Halloween Horror Nights announcement. Who would have figured Halloween Horror Nights dropped a bomb last night about that they were going to be talking about a brand new house announced. It was going to be an original. Now, most people were kind of guessing here and there. Halloween Horror Nights today dropped their first original house announcement, but their second maze announcement overall. So what we have is called Dead Exposure Patient Zero. Now, that first part of that should ring a bell for you. If you do not know, we will time travel. So way back in 2008, it was Halloween Horror Nights 18, ladies and gentlemen, and a house called Dead Exposure was created. Now, in the creation of that house, a young zombie Chris did not know his nickname Zombie Chris would take him to that very haunted house where Patrick and Mike casted this young fellow to be a zombie. Go figure, that's not how I got my name Zombie Chris, but it is pretty funny overall that I ended up in Dead Exposure, not once, but twice actually. Because this house was featured at Halloween Horror Nights 18 and as well as Halloween Horror Nights 20 in Hallowed Past, the anniversary house. It was a quick little like 2-room kind of scene. Dead Exposure, if you do not know, was the story of Charlie McPherson, I believe his name is. We just call him Charlie backstage. Good old Charlie was a photographer and he was looking for that great story to break out his career. Well, there was some zombies outside of his house, so he decided to basically go out there in his photos, and that's what the facade featured, you know, these sort of photographs of these zombies. Look at this photograph. What was cool about this house was not the whole zombie angle, but it was the actual fact that when you went through the house, it was pitch black. When the flashes from Charlie's basically camera noise or his camera flash, it would illuminate the room for just a couple seconds and you would be able to see the zombie coming out or a zombie jumping at you, or it would illuminate the room for a second for you to kind of see your pathway. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video about my experience of working in that house. It's always in like top 10 like most scary houses Halloween Horror Nights has put together. So it's great to see it come back for a new generation. Obviously, it's the 10th year anniversary of this property, so it kind of makes sense that it would come to Halloween Horror Nights this year. There's also a theme going on with this year. Not ready to talk about that quite yet. That's going to be in another video. Dead Exposure Patient Zero. Now, Patient Zero tells the story. We are now in Paris, you know, bagels and baguettes and macarons. In Paris of 1982, the city of lights has gone dark and the chaos spreads. Although that's sort of Italian. I don't know. But yes, so we are in Paris. It's in 1982. The town is kind of flooded with these zombies. The military steps in. So keyword military is forcing those not affected into quarantine and vaccination is given. But the vaccination causes us to go blind. Therefore, the house is dark. I was kind of worried when they first announced that Dead Exposure was coming back. I wasn't understanding if they were going to do the whole darkness thing, but they are going to do it. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, but we know there's going to be military outside of the house. I'm not quite sure where this is going to be. We'll get to that a little later in my negatives. But we know the military is going to be there. It's going to probably be some kind of type of fog or something. We're going to like walk through some kind of corridor type of thing, and it's going to blast us with air maybe, and that's how we are, you know, basically vaccinated, and we go blind into the house. Well, I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to take those zombies. They're quite different from what we were back in 2008. I'm not sure if these masks are like glow-in-the-dark masks, or are they sort of like black UV paint light like we had, and it's supposed to just kind of catch when the flashes pop. So Paris 80s is going to be awesome. Dark and scary house. Now, all that sounds great. What's going to bring me to the negatives about this house, you ask? Well, the thing is, this was done back in 2008. You gotta figure, 10 years ago. Horror Nights, at least in the last couple of years, has gained its momentum as far as the crowds, as far as the announcements, the IPs it's been pulling, especially at least the last 3 years. It's been going up, 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 up. So a house like this is going to cause major headaches. What I do remember is people walk through this house very slowly because they could not see their way, because they're scared to walk forward. You walk into things. But the biggest thing is, if there's long lines and people are going to be taking long to get through this house, unless they build it just right, it's going to cause major backup. It's not like any of the other houses where it's just long and maybe eats a lot of people, or it's short but it's scary so people go through it quickly. I'm seeing in this house everyone's going to be doing the pedal, 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 pedal. Is what I'm figuring most people are going to do in this house. So that could cause some kind of major backups. My only niche with this, the only negative I have, the story is that the first one made sense because it was Charlie McPherson's, I'm going to call him Charlie. His flash was basically going off, and that made it seem like it made sense with the story if you read it. This one, we go blind, but that doesn't explain why are we seeing the flashes, why are the zombies illuminating. There's stuff in there that doesn't kind of make sense with the story. But like I said, that's just a minor thing. Also, another kind of niche or negative, and maybe it's just me, you guys leave it down in the comment section if you feel the same way. Horror Nights this year seems like they're just not giving us enough information. It would be nice to know if this house was a tent or a soundstage. We do not know. We don't even know where Stranger Things is as far as a soundstage or parade. Or this house, they announced it and then there really wasn't much details to give us. Maybe that's just me. I would have loved to know if this was a tent or a soundstage. If you want to get an experience of what it's supposed to be like, I tried to kind of reduplicate what it feels like to be in this haunted house, so check it out right here.
Signs of the disease spreading beyond containment facilities are going up. Side effects. All transmission from French County are dead today.
That has been it for this video. That is Dead Exposure Patient Zero. We finally have our second maze announcement, and I'm predicting there's going to be another maze announcement next month. That has been it for this video. If you enjoyed what you see, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be cool, be cool, be ghoul, be zombie, like and leave a thumbs up on this video if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on Dead Exposure Patient Zero? I will speak to you guys on the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Good night, good afternoon, goodbye. Zombie Chris is out of here.